take a shot whenever you hear the word "the incident," and then say goodnight.
Yeah.
That's how it is. Here we go. Once upon a groove on an old soul tune. I watch the pin move to shape the breakthroughs. My crew makes moves, maneuver in the right direction. The rest of you get left behind and messed up in this session. I'm not trying to make a difference, maybe some pocket change. I'm content with the boom back.
Welcome to Drunkcast Live.
Hey!
It's episode 243. Is that right? 242. I'll just take one of the ones that's actually correct. 243, 242, 244, 245.
The magic of editing.
Can we
Yeah,
just call it
magic,
243? Just seems to split the difference.
I don't want it to be inaccurate.
Me either, but
That's
we're
my
clearly
integrity,
doing
Adam.
just that.
I'm Travis.
I'm Dylan.
Our podcast that takes place in Austin, Texas, at Don's Depot. We love this place so much. We like to listen to things that happen in the week and talk to people about them. And we like to do that with drinks. We have a Chris Lloyd over here who knows what drinks are.
I do.
He
I
does.
do. I have drank before.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the concepts.
Mm-hmm.
Done a lot of independent research.
I appreciate-
don't mean to brag.
Oh, no, of
I've been
course not.
published several times.
About your booze or about the research you've done about the booze?
Yeah, about the research. Right. I'm saying peer reviewed.
Okay.
Right.
Like, so was someone publishing the research they were doing about your research? Like, were they watching you? Like, is there a documentary
Yes.
about Chris Lloyd?
Right. So, like, I've been in journals, and then, like, Newsweek and Time
It's
have done
journalists.
pieces
It's pronounced
on my
journalists.
journals.
You've been in journalists.
Well, they did
Yes,
the pieces on the journals, not
Right. Like, sort of pop sci,
Yeah.
Pieces on my research.
editorial opinions.
Right.
things like that.
Yeah. Sort of,
Yeah.
the Neil deGrasse Tyson version of my research.
Yes.
Right, because it's pretty advanced, so you got to break it down
It's
a little bit
Is it advanced? Okay.
for the hose at home.
Okay.
Right.
For the basic bitches.
For the
Right.
basic
And no disrespect. I don't mean, you're not not everyone can be as great at science
Sit
as
down
me.
sit down with your pumpkin spice drink and read my paper.
Right.
I
I'll
think
let you know.
he's drunk splaining right now.
Drunk splaining?
Drunk
Yes.
splaining.
Oh, he's our
That's
Bud's
fair.
person anyway.
That's fair. Yeah.
He will often go to, if you go to drunkcastlive.com right now, drunkcastlive.com, you can sign up for a newsletter. And this Chris Lloyd is actually the person who does the newsletter. And the newsletter is excellent. It shows some adjacent stuff that we didn't get a chance to talk about or things that are related. And maybe some links to buy some stuff if you like the things. Pretty cool. Go do that right now. Won't take more than at least 60 minutes of your time.
You're 1 3-pence moon away from victory.
Yeah, exactly. And across from him is the person who made the 3 Pence Moon shirt. It's Adam McWaters.
Hey,
Hey, man, how's it going?
great.
Great to have you come back.
So great.
So what is you? What is you?
What
What is you doing?
Who this was?
You're downtown right now.
Yeah. I'm if you go down Lamar across the lake and then Barton Springs and Dawson. And
Sure.
It-
Geographic locations are very important for people who don't listen.
It
to
is
this.
no, but
It's an international
the only
show.
reason why I did that is because it is a fascinating place because we're Airbnb-ing for a bunch of people at this really, really huge, fancy, like multi-million-dollar house, clearly,
Okay.
which is surrounded by what looks like a Fallout village on one side and a fucking Airstream mobile home on the other
Sure.
side with like this an actual motorcycle and then this scooter looking like made in your garage scooter looking thing that's like ready for off-road.
Well, like you can get like in the back of like a Boy's Life or something. Like
Right.
build your own.
Boy's life.
But
Holy
it's
cow.
it is a testament to Austin. So I'm glad I wore the
Sorry, we're condos or perverts.
condo shirt
Yeah.
because like the neighborhood entirely is so disparate. It's like bajillion-dollar home next to ramshackle tin roof shanty,
Yeah,
barely
yeah.
cobbled together
All
with
taxed the
like
same
wood
rate.
glue. Yeah,
Yeah.
all taxed at the same rate.
Right.
Wow.
All taxed at $1 million a piece.
So yeah, it's not that far from here.
Right,
And,
right there. Right there.
Yeah.
it's right over there.
Stone's Throw Boulevard.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just neat.
Yeah.
Austin's fucked.
Yeah. At least there's still a taco place right next to it. I just got a text. That one's closed. It's condos now.
And it's gone.
That's the reason why that house was built in the first place. I love these tacos. Oh man, these people are crunching too loud. I got to get them out of here.
That's the one thing I moved here to avoid.
I can't believe there's taco smell after 6 p.m.
Yeah. Oh my god. Does it smell like that all the time? There was so right across from Don's is like a Gables condos or apartments or whatever. I think they're Gables.
Yeah.
And aside from
The 5th Street Commons.
really it's exactly. Aside from some really, really dumb things they did to the building, there was a call. Well, one of the bartenders here, her name is Beebe, Michelle Beebe. She's fucking excellent.
Yes,
She received a phone call like really early on, like right after the thing was built and people were finally piling in. And she got a call, and the person said, "Hey, I just moved in, and I'm so curious. Do you guys do live music every night?" I'm like, yeah. It's like, oh, okay. When does it end? It's like, well, it depends. I guess like midnight or 1. She's
2.
like, and she's like, oh God, okay. I can't really do very much about that. Like, I was like, every single night? Yeah, every single night. And she's like, well, what about the people on the patio? Are they always like that loud? Like, well, I mean, sometimes there's not people on the patio,
Yeah,
And
maybe.
she's like, I just spent so much money on this place. I just moved here from California, and just like so confused about what's going on. And BB's like, what have you haven't heard the train yet? And she's like, there's a fucking train. Of course, sad
You've
forever.
chosen poorly.
right.
Yeah, no, that's really curious. They built a condo literally in between a right
train-
behind it.
Yeah.
Railroad
Train
tracks.
Like the
Yeah.
train is a legit comment.
Yeah, and then on the other side, we have Don's live music 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And then actually they incorporated into the basement of their damn building another bar.
There's
Mina,
Mina Cat, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
and that was like probably what they were like, come, there's a bar right attached to it. There's sushi downstairs. You can go whatever.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
do
of
a
course,
thing.
when ACL's pumping, you can hear
But at what
everything
cost?
from across the room.
Everything
Right,
from
right,
across.
right.
Jesus
You
Christ.
can't turn it on and off. Right.
That's how we do it here, man. It's not.
I really, really hope that when ACL is here, that there's enough padding somewhere in there, because like we can hear it pretty clear, but we're also on the fucking patio.
Yeah.
So it's like stone throw. We can see where ACL usually is.
The back of the building has opposite apartments and windows that face.
that face the thing.
Face all
So
that
We can also
Yeah.
see where the train passes by.
Yeah, so they see the
Yeah.
train every goddamn day.
every goddamn day. Yeah. There's a fucking train.
I live closer to a train than they do, and you can't notice it. So I think that's probably why she didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Well, because it's a Navy train, so you just don't care about
No.
it.
I was trying to avoid that, but yes,
You
You're-
went
you're
on a
more right than
tirade
there.
on Facebook
No,
about it.
Well, I don't think our average viewer is following me on Facebook. Our average listener,
They don't know that.
is probably better.
They
But
should.
yes, they should.
that was
Absolutely,
funny.
I agree. I'm hilarious.
Where can they find your hateful rants about the Navy?
Christopher Lloyd at Facebook.com, or I don't know how you do that.
That's an email address, but okay, I'll take it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That is not how the internet works.
Yeah.
I live very close to a train track, and you actually can't hear it. Like, especially if like your TV is on or something. Like, there's
there's-
more
there's
dampening
enough
going on
dampening.
than you might expect.
Well, there's
Well,
gotta
what,
be.
what you also want to consider is, depending upon where along that train track you live, is going to determine whether or not they do the horn. Like if it's just a train passing by, no biggie.
It's just
you
clackety,
know?
clackety, clackety,
Yeah,
clackety.
clackety
but
clack for a while.
Here, they pull the horn every
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
that train rolls
like,
through.
like giddy up.
Any kind of intersection, anything like that, they are legally obligated to blow the horn, and that horn can rattle your fucking bones.
Yeah.
It is
It's
mad loud.
purposely loud to not kill anybody.
Yes. It is
Fucking
not it's not a
overregulation.
it's not a portable horn. I'll say that.
Nope.
Sure.
It's big.
It's part of Gwyneth Paltrow's new Goop thing. It's horn therapy.
Horn therapy.
It's vibration cellulite reduction.
It knocks your chakras back in line.
Right.
Yeah.
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 It changes your vision board.
For $55,000, you have a train horn blown at you.
Yeah.
And your horoscope. It,
Right,
it gives you a
There's
different
a lot of-
animal.
Free radical destroying horn sound waves.
Right.
Lot going on. Lot going on.
It hits you so hard you were born in a different month. Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Change your birthstone.
It's complicated, but trust me, the math works out. Yeah.
You're
And
advised to not wear your birthstone while you're taking the treatment because it will change the color
Yeah.
and the density and
Which
the stone
can
itself.
can generate quite a great deal of heat.
Of course, yeah.
Like
Well, if you obviously like are fine to do that if you're born like maybe in September because like what the fuck is sapphire really worth? Like any other month is probably totally fine. Knock it out into the next thing.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Buy some bitcoins with it, and
Right.
and please buy goop.
yeah.
Someone please buy some fucking goop.
It's so worth it because you've been living this lie.
I really thought that ad campaign was really, really tacky, but the way you say it, here's my credit card. How much is it? Take my credit card
I
back.
promised myself I wouldn't get sold on anything today, but here's my card.
I promised myself I wouldn't try.
Jade rejuvenation vaginal thing. Eggs. The eggs.
Thing eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about
Yeah.
the eggs. Vaginal eggs.
Good. You got to put things in your badge.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the takeaway.
Keep that Kegel game up. Kegel
Elves.
Kegel.
The Kegel
The
Elves.
Kegel Elves.
You don't want to see the tree they live in.
Yeah, it's not a tree. It's more of a fungus.
Yeah, it's more of a mushroom.
Yeah,
family.
right.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
A yeast.
Okay.
It is a yeast.
It's a sentient yeast that changes location every day.
Every day.
Like Krull.
Yeah.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in
I
your
would buy that
vagina
book.
one day, and boom, they're in somebody else's vagina across the world the next.
Like that episode of Orville that just came out.
Yeah, exactly. What a great show.
What a great show. Very cool. Very cool.
Very cool.
Chris, are you watching the Orville?
I have not. I have not seen the Orville.
Do you
I've heard good things.
Do you
about
like any
it.
of the Star Treks?
I
can't remember the
I mean, I'm
conversation.
not. I wouldn't call myself a Trekkie,
I'm
but
not.
I'm not like anti.
Did you like Galaxy
Trekkie.
Quest?
I would say, yeah. Do you
I
like?
did like Galaxy.
You'll like
Then you
Orville.
like
then,
the Orville, yeah.
Fair enough.
That's
Fair
our
enough.
that's
Fair
our
enough.
tagline for it. Is
Yeah.
the Orville's the best Star Trek since Galaxy Quest?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can respect that.
'Cause
No,
I'm
no,
just-
I mean, I think I get that. Yeah.
Because
It's sincere, actually.
Yeah.
earmuffs or whatever, but I'm really just not a Star Trek person. I just don't like it. Like honestly, a lot of sci-fi I really just don't like. Honestly, surprisingly, I realize this as I try to get into it. Like I like books, but when something is usually produced, if it's not Marvel attached, I usually don't give a shit. And even that is waning, and we can talk about it in the second segment. But yes,
up, Lloyd.
but the Orville
Received.
the Orville's awesome.
Yeah.
Because it feels like a show that you can watch with all the same trappings of all the Star Trek stuff because it's very human and the stories are interesting and they can tell a really interesting story very quickly and the cameos are amazing. Like we
Yeah.
talked about that so many times on the show, but
Yeah, you also have to factor in that it's Seth MacFarlane,
right.
and so there's a meta expectation
Yeah.
that he
Yeah.
completely breaks.
expectation.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not at all what you
It's
were
not.
expecting.
It's not like Family Guy. I
Yeah.
mean, once in a while there'll be like some weird pithy remark that does not really fit in the scene, but it's like, but that's human. It like makes sense because
like it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny at times, but
Yeah.
it's not a comedy.
It's not how he
show.
rolls.
Yeah.
In that.
like for example, in the first episode, there's a scene where they all have to go down to the planet, like for whatever reason, and there's a hostage situation, and the person holding the hostage like says, "Call to the ship and tell them anything except for what's going on right now." And that main character, Seth MacFarlane's like, "Hey, so we're stuck here for a little bit because there's a pizza party, and one of the guys
Yeah, no, the pilot and the engineer guy
Yeah.
like turn around like, oh my god, a pizza party!
yeah, they're so excited.
Can
about
we
a fucking
go?
pizza party? Yeah." And like that's really weird and human, but also like just good enough. It's good enough. It's great. It's wonderful. Perfect. Beautiful.
Sold.
Yeah. Sold. Yeah.
I'll watch all of it.
Good.
Very
Yay.
That's all I wanted.
Very fucking good.
Let's go ahead and take our first break. We'll come back and do a little bit more show.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break.
Is that just like chicken nuggets?
Yeah. We're good.
And the night's new, what a feeling, what a nice mood. A bam, boom, rock, we're here to rock you. It's like
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Hello. Second two. It's double deuce. So I made a small reference before the break about this idea that I've been going through where I don't know if it's sexually transmitted from Dylan or not.
You're welcome.
But my superhero fatigue is coming out.
Is it escalating?
It's escalating, yeah.
And we're not even halfway done yet, guys.
I know.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
It is unfortunate.
It's
Yeah.
almost like they made a really bad decision and then announced it to everyone. And then
Wait, what is that exactly?
when
You know,
they
just having too many movies. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
You know,
What,
no,
what turned your what turned? What,
It was actually
ground your
thank
gears.
you. It was missing Ragnarok and not caring about it. I mean, like I don't think it's going to be necessary for the rest of it, but again,
I haven't seen it either.
my
but I'm
presence-
not like bothered.
my
by
presence in the entire Marvel thing was the excitement that it would all be interlooped and connected to the point where it would actually get to that point. And then thinking about missing that one, like I guess I get resentful that I was missing something and should feel bad about it. You know, like
I mean,
I'm not
I hear what
completing
you're
the
saying.
set, and like I've never been a completionist kind of person. Like I just want to get it. I'd like to get through the story and not miss a bunch. And it reminds me of the conversations that Dylan and I have had for
Yeah.
years now.
So, if I'm following right,
Yeah.
the idea that they're building this ginormous universe and everything's supposed to be connected, and for everything we've seen, I haven't seen the movie, but everything we've seen externally, Thor and Hulk having fight time doesn't have anything to do with the universe they're building. It's just let's have playtime now.
Is it just a fun thing?
I
mean,
that's kind of my impression.
I have
of
no
it.
idea. I haven't seen it. Have you? You saw it, right, Chris?
No, I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that inaccurate?
I mean, I guess it depends. There's a couple different levels. So one, I will say, to the average listener, everyone I know has loved that movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
big fans in the same way that they love like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Of course.
So,
Wow, that's a bold statement. 'cause-
Or Deadpool.
no, but I
It's
stand by
Thor.
it. But I stand by it.
Right. Well.
That being said, like from a universe building perspective, there's not a lot there.
Okay.
So I guess it depends, right? Like from a completionist perspective, you could probably skip it and go to Infinity War and still enjoy it.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm pro Ragnarok, and it has nothing to do with like the larger universe.
Oh, yeah, sure. And I'm not
right?
saying I'm anti-Ragnarok by any means. What I'm saying is that like I just got this. It's almost like a virus that made me believe that I need to see all of them. And when I missed one, I realized that I was going to survive. You know, it's like if we all stop breathing and one of us survived, and was like, oh shit, I don't have to breathe. Holy crap, this is amazing. You know,
Right.
This is the letting go of the 100%er concept.
Right.
Like you don't have to get all the fucking achievements to enjoy the game.
Right.
It's fine.
Right.
I haven't seen it either. I'd like to eventually, but it's not priority. It doesn't seem important.
Yeah, no, of course.
I don't think it's again like it doesn't have any particular bearing on the greater scale of the entire meta plot.
Right.
Right? It's just a fun little romp, like Guardians, like Deadpool.
Sure.
Like,
And that's all well and good. What I'm saying specifically just for me was realizing that and thinking about it and saying like that I was making myself stressed out about movies.
right.
Which
that's-
is the opposite of what you should be doing.
Yeah,
And so it was
correct.
like so now
Yes.
I'm like, okay. Like now I just kind of just want to do none of it until it's all available to steal and just like watch it in a day and be like, cool. You know, not worry about spoilers or whatever. Like, who cares? Who cares?
nobody.
And it changed me a little bit, is what I'm saying, really.
Well, the downside of that, you have to wait like 20, 30 more years before they're all done with this filing.
Oh,
damn
they'll
thing.
never be done with it. Never.
I think after Infinity Wars, they might be done.
They
I
won't.
think it's going to be.
No, they
like
have
a
plans for
hard
everything
stop.
else.
They have plans.
They
I
have
think.
plans.
as long
but-
as they can squeeze blood from that stone, they will.
Yeah, but
wait,
I mean,
which stone? Is there
like-
a bloodstone?
they have to know that like Robert Downey Jr. is done, right? Like they have to know that Chris Evans isn't going to do anymore.
Well, Chris Evans, yeah, I mean, we know for a fact that he's not going to do anymore.
He's been
'cause-
trying not to do
Right.
these things
That's
for
what I'm saying.
years.
So there has to be some limits.
Well, that's only if we're assuming that we're never going to find anyone good enough to replace. Like, what if I mean, that's the point, right?
But yeah,
we lose the best people who've done it. Only one of them was made for that role.
Yeah, well, and
Robert
both-
Downey Jr. was perfect
yeah,
for.
and
Right,
both,
right, right.
both of those
But, like-
characters in their comic form take on different people, so they can keep this train
Yeah, they
rolling.
can keep
for
it going
long.
for
Right,
yeah.
right. Like
Thor's a lady now in the comics.
you're
Yeah.
like Falcon will absolutely be like, okay, fine, I'll do 3 more movies. Like he doesn't have anything else going on.
Hawkeye,
Right,
yeah,
right.
he'll always be there. Unfortunately.
Right. Easy.
So-
Black
Man.
Widow will be there forever, despite her lack of
Comics have
any
existed
talent
since
or
the
acting
20s,
skills.
so I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
Yeah.
they can figure out something to make a movie about.
I mean, it's a beautiful sentiment too, but like we know that they never ever actually look at any of the comics for anything.
That's true.
If only they might, and they'd be able to make much easier stories, I guess. But you know, whatever. Like, because I don't remember. Speaking of comics, speaking of things that have provided in Marvel, I don't remember the original Runaways as much as I thought I did. It's a Hulu original, right?
Yeah.
The Runaways. It's based on a Marvel series. They're in the Marvel universe, but they're like kind of offset. I guess they're also like in the Cloak and Dagger universe.
Yeah.
It's not all connected at this point.
Oh no, of course.
It was
Right,
con-
they're going
it
to
was
put
con-
Stark on a building and call it like
I don't
winner.
care. I'm not talking about that really
Yeah.
anymore, but I'm really just when I'm talking about like think about how comics are already a story, and most of them are already storyboards because they look exactly what storyboards would look like. Why not just translate that to a thing and just put out a fucking like
Yeah.
an hour-long thing? But I
One
don't
of my
remember-
favorite theories of
how
yours.
accurate is the Runaways?
I would say I've not finished
Sure.
the first season of Runaways yet, but so far
Yeah.
they are accurate to a point, but there's a lot of things that happen in the show that just didn't happen in the comic.
Okay, and that's fine.
Like
I don't because
a lot of the beef between the kids
Sure.
and shit like
yeah,
that.
Sure.
I don't recall that in the comic. It was much more immediate and sudden.
Right.
They were like it was an understood thing. Sure, there was tension.
I really don't want to go too far into it. I was really just mostly
Okay,
just
fine.
kind of like a yes or no. Like yeah.
No, I don't.
Not very accurate.
I don't think it's super accurate to the comic, and I kind of hope that they don't do it super accurate to the comic
Okay.
because of that one particular thing. What happens
Right.
that changes everything, and then the
Right.
only thing that saved it was introducing Cloak and Dagger
Right.
later, which folded them into the bigger Marvel universe.
Which also exists in the place, too, because Cloak and Dagger is going to be a Netflix show, right?
That's why I think they're doing Runaways. I think they are going to introduce Cloak and Dagger
They're going to try to...
in order to essentially pump up the hype for Cloak and Dagger, their own series.
Yeah, because what was this? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not really attached to the MCU anymore, right? Like, I mean, it was adjacent, it was directly connected, and then they just kind of said, we're doing our own thing for now. Showrunner said, we're just not going to be beholden to all the plots that are going on because there's so much shit going on. Like, it's not going to be so directed.
Yeah. I mean,
They had like 2 or 3 different
like they're very clear. Like, episode 3 happened, and then Avengers 2 went out in the theaters, and episode 4 was directly based on that,
and
right?
it bounced off. But they have to time that and plan that.
Right. I think they're getting away from that.
I think,
honestly, I think the movies are getting away from that.
Yeah.
Like all of the continuity will be in the after credits stuff and whatever. Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
So,
yeah.
so I've heard this. Here's a Drunkcast listener challenge. If you're watching any of these TV adaptations or series or whatever, take a shot whenever you hear the word "the incident," and then say goodnight.
Yeah, yeah, and make sure whatever hospital you're going to has Claire
Rosario
from Rosario Dawson because she can save anyone apparently,
And does.
and
all
does
of them.
all of them all the fucking time.
Except she wasn't in Daredevil, which I really appreciate.
I appreciate that too.
She was in Daredevil.
No, I'm sorry.
She wasn't in Punisher.
We're not just
She was-
entertaining. We're saving lives.
Punisher is what I'm talking about.
Right.
Right. I am really glad she did not make an appearance in
Yeah,
Punisher.
I couldn't be happier about that. Not that I don't like her. I love her.
Did you guys see that Jessica Jones season 2 was announced?
Yeah, apparently
For
they were filming
March?
it while they were filming Defenders.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
That is scary. But there's also the rumors that David Tennant's returning for season 2.
I heard it was just
Well,
like flashbacks.
It's
though.
gonna be. It has to be
Has to be.
flashbacks.
It has to be.
flashbacks.
Yeah.
There's no
Right.
way. I mean, the character that would be so shoehorny.
Ugh.
Because he's fucking.
Ready for shoes.
He's fucking dead, right?
Yeah, he's fucking.
I
dead.
mean,
Yeah.
it was a
Super
whole thing.
Spoilers, but like snapped his neck like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
Super
and,
dead.
And like not just like they killed him, like it was a plot point of like, oh, let's watch Jessica deal with the fact that she snapped this guy's neck.
Right.
Right.
Stupid.
Like
Stupid brain fuckler deserved it.
Yeah. yeah.
Worst. They're the
so good.
worst.
So good.
It was so good, but it's good because that is the worst bad
no,
guy to be
yeah.
up against.
Yeah,
Right.
And this plot looks like it's going to be about how she's trying to figure out how she was turned into whatever she was turned into, and it's like, it's not as realistic to me. Like, I feel like all the Netflix shows that handle Marvel stuff that work best is when they're not dealing with fucking superhero shit.
Yeah.
Like, not even like superhero, supervillain, but like when the large majority of the superhero stuff, it's fucking boring somehow.
Oh yeah.
Like, and that was before the fatigue. Like, Defenders was so boring because it was like we're worried ninjas because that's all that fucking
Defenders
that
wasn't
particular
boring.
IP.
It was frustratingly stupid.
Well, sure, but I mean, it was boring, specifically boring because of that. Like
And
I'm
ninjas.
just so tired of ninjas, you know. But that's all they have. That's the only well they can. And the well's poisoned.
Like Daredevil season 2, all ninjas.
God, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, Daredevil season 1 has the fucking Kingpin, and D'Onofrio was awesome.
Yeah.
There's no superhero. Well, there was obviously Daredevil doing his thing, but D'Onofrio.
Even
was,
then, he's just an enhanced human. Like,
Yeah.
an enhanced human just means he can martial arts far longer, you
Yeah.
know, farther,
Right.
stronger.
But-
he knew you were coming like 3 floors away.
yeah,
But
Right.
but again, as far as like the
That's
scale
fine.
goes,
still
like
gets his ass kicked.
you would have to like shoot a flare or something to get Luke Cage to notice that you're trying to fuck with him. Like he is like legit superpowered.
Yeah.
Daredevil is not, and neither is Elektra, the world's worst girlfriend, and
Yeah.
also just a ninja. Like
Just a ninja.
Well, she's just a ninja until the end of it, right? Then she's the super ninja or whatever.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Sorry. At the end of Luke
Yeah.
Cage,
What is she, Black Sky or Black Rain?
Black Rain, I think.
Black Flag.
again, like
It's complicated.
I
It's
don't care.
complicated.
I don't care
Yeah.
what she has to go through. She would have zero opportunity or chance to ever knock out Luke Cage. But the Defenders, script says it.
Yeah, the only way to knock out Luke Cage, as far as we know from canon, is a shotgun straight to the jaw.
Yeah,
And can she punch that hard? Kick that hard? Whatever.
No, she can't.
This is so inside baseball.
It is. It was. Defenders was fucking frustrating on every level. It was. That's why it was bad. Not
Yeah.
because it was boring, because it was.
Yeah.
but it's because
It was still better than
they
Iron
just
Fist.
they just
Yeah. Yeah.
he was half the fucking problem.
Oh, well, I know. I completely
Right,
agree.
yeah.
Idiot character, fucking worthless.
Why is
God.
more people should listen
Let's
to this.
hide here. Here's my Amex card. No one can find us now.
Wait, let me tweet something real quick. Fucking morons.
Right, but that was the big problem with it. And like I'm concerned about a second season of Jessica Jones because the first one was so fucking good.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling it requires the context of the thing, what made her the bitch that she is.
Well, yeah, which
'Cause
yeah.
everything they've done with her since, all it did was write some shitty person. She was worthless, uninteresting, barely had anything to say or do,
Yeah.
and maybe
Yeah.
got into a fight or two. And other than that, she was just a cunt.
She was
Like, and it's like
incredibly underutilized.
yeah,
in
there was
Defenders
so much more there with her character that you set up in that first season
Yeah.
that you could have used, but they just don't bother.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what are they going to do now?
Yeah. What are they going to do when they're focusing on her only? If they forget.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like also like a person. I mean, I've definitely never had to produce, direct, or showrun a television series that is martial arts heavy or it has 4 characters with their own backstories. Like, I'm sure
This
that
changes everything.
I'm sure it's very. I mean, three. I've gone up to 3 characters, but not 4 characters. That's what I'm saying.
Touche.
Yeah,
Touche.
yeah. And it wasn't
He's-
martial arts as much as it was aqua dancing.
He's B-level porn.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
He's
Like
a
The Room.
Cinemax kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like The Room.
Yeah.
And I'm really a penthouse kind of guy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never thought it would happen to me, but I got greenlit for 3
Yeah.
more seasons.
I was
of
hanging out with
the
these
Iron
Navy
Fist.
guys, and
Sure. I said seasons, not semen.
Oh. What
Damn.
do you guys want me to do?
I'm not sure, man.
Finish your story.
Anyway,
we're gonna come back to me later.
Yes, we're gonna come. Or I always
Yeah.
come back to you.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All over you.
Name your sex tape. Come back to me later.
All over me.
But yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think a little bit of cautious optimism is pushing it because they just don't know that character. But my only point was like it might be really difficult to do something like that. So maybe that's the reason why they fucked it up because they didn't have at least one person who was like, I've met a girl once, you know.
They didn't. They didn't have a
Right,
single person.
right? But
What are girls?
But maybe if they're just focusing on her, I don't know.
I'm a little worried about Netflix's production schedule too, because they're pumping these damn things out,
They sure are.
and they're doing it the same way they're pumping out all the Marvel stuff. So
And it's been
fatigue
a downhill
and-
slide.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's both
like literally Daredevil, Jessica Jones.
Yeah. I think they're on the same trend, which they don't have to be. Netflix can actually step away from it. They don't have to do this,
Sure,
but they're forcing it.
they're forcing it.
Yeah.
Well, because they're losing everyone else's content.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
especially when Disney comes in.
And Jessica Jones was like, she was under a brand.
Yeah.
When they made her, it was like a adult themed
Yeah.
comic book brand. I don't remember what the name was.
Power
but-
Jim or Jim Girl or something
Whatever,
like that. Yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah,
like-
yeah.
Oh, when the actual
point was,
the comic
like-
books came out.
Right, some things were made for kids, and you got to deal with that.
Right,
But like
she was-
Jessica Jones
she was
was
on
like
the-
specifically like, oh, we
Right.
can have mature graphic novels
On the Marvel Max.
right,
Max,
yeah,
yeah.
whatever. And so again, to your point, just
Graphic
we've already
novel.
got the storyboards,
Which
just
was their
do
exact
it.
same
right
comics
there.
with the occasional tit in it.
Right.
of course.
Well, I
Which is
mean,
all you needed
let's-
back then.
Yeah, let's not
2 weeks ago.
let's not be anti the occasional tit. Like,
Hey, I'm a heavy metal reader.
so
Yeah. Don't
Sorry.
talk to me about the occasional.
I love a booby
Occasional,
every once in
right,
a while.
right.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Flip the
5
page.
star.
You're
5
lucky
star.
if you flip a page and there isn't a tit.
Yeah.
Like,
More
or-
tits. Gross.
I would,
Let's take a break.
I'd
Come
look,
back with
yeah.
more show.
Look, a page of dicks.
Got to get to where I'm going on this fortified train, slowly sewing my name on with quilted grades. Wipe the dust off the canvas and wait till we break.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the show. It's the Fighting
Hey.
Three. Yay.
Threes.
Fighting threes.
Threes are be fighting.
Got 4 people who are ready to fight. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to set that up. So let's talk about the Navy. What the fuck?
Oh, the
is-
Navy. They're absolutely terrible.
What is this thing? So,
Funny.
so our Chris Lloyd, our sweet Chris Lloyd, who posts
Yeah.
on Facebook like maybe once every 6 months.
But when he does, it's a week-long tirade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's basically what's happening. So
I mean,
with a
pay
theme.
attention when
Explain
I post,
this
I
shit.
think is the thing. The Navy's terrible. I don't like the Navy.
okay,
I am an
What is-
Army guy,
Army guy. There we go.
right?
Now
And
you're
Sweet,
referring-
sweet context.
to the Navy as the agent of defense or just the football team?
Both.
No. They're terrible people. Like, I mean, I think at an ethical level.
Yeah.
I don't. My brother's pretty cool.
I mean, maybe. I don't know your brother.
Well, he's a commander in the Navy, so yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Wait, he's a
what's he
commander?
done for me
That was easy.
lately? Like when people see him in uniform, they probably go like, "Thank you for your service," and it's like, "What service did you really provide?"
Jesus.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hey,
mean-
he's been keeping mouths clean and cancer-free for years.
Right. You got a
the
Navy
Navy.
dentist, and it's a whole thing, and that's my point. The Army wins wars. The Navy kind of makes movies about things. Like I don't know.
All right,
I put up with a lot of crap.
Tell us what you
and-
really think.
Right. No, and that's the thing.
What about
And
the Marines? Because they're kind of like the
So,
bastard stepchildren of the Navy.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Here's the thing about the Marines. There's a broader point, right? Everyone's texting.
They'll kick your ass.
I don't think they would, and here's why: is because the only time that people like the Navy is when they're pretending to be another branch of the military. So, like,
It's a bold claim.
no, and I can stand by it and prove it. I.e., people like Top Gun. That's the Navy pretending to be the Air Force. All the times that people like the Marines is the Navy pretending to
But
be the
it could-
Army.
it could also-
like literally, other than like Hunt for Red October, no one actually cares about the Navy actually being the Navy.
So,
Right.
what about
Right.
outside of
Well, but-
movies?
Well, outside of movies,
I'm not following.
like most.
Like, I don't get where you're going.
What world? What universe are you talking about?
Like I don't.
I have like a lot of Navy friends who were in the Navy have the opinion that the Marines just want nothing more than to be the Navy.
Yeah,
And, like, that's their
I
opinion
mean
of
that.
it.
Right. Everyone thinks that everyone wants to be them.
I will say one thing about as an Army brat,
Yeah.
and interested in all of that sort of thing growing up. I will say that I think the Navy, if they didn't develop the cool new thing, they got it first to test.
I'm-
The Navy gets those are the fucking
Except the
egghead
tanks.
nerds.
I mean, I guess what I'm saying is like
Like they
the,
get all the new tech before anyone does.
the Navy did not pull Saddam Hussein out of a hole in the ground, right? Like they
Neither
are a
did
bunch
any
of
of
posers.
us.
No, the Army did.
Why did you
No,
pull
did-
him out of a hole in the ground?
Didn't Donald Trump do that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was-
I
it
mean,
was already-
technically, but because
The
he
Navy
supported
did
it.
kill.
So the
Osama
Army
bin
Corps of
Laden,
Engineers
They
did.
did not. They buried him,
though. SEAL
but
Team,
they did not.
SEAL Team 6. Navy
Oh.
SEAL Team 6.
Again, the Navy pretending to be the Army. Like they didn't catch him on like a boat. Like they did not pull
Yeah.
Osama off of like,
Yeah.
oh,
This was not
no.
a waterborne
Like it wasn't
adventure.
Johnny Depp as Osama bin Laden, and they're like, oh, we got him now. Like
Yeah.
no. You sent people on the ground, and they got Osama,
So
and then they
basically-
gave him to a boat
So
and
basically,
said
you're
bury
saying
him.
if the Navy does anything that's not on water, it doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Is that inaccurate?
Sounds from your perspective, it sounds like if they're trying to fly a plane, that means they're trying to be Air Force.
All right, so
If they're
Right.
on ground, that means they're trying to be
Army.
Right, like
Army.
if it was like 2 centuries ago, and you were in Britain, and
okay, go on.
Right.
I'm there.
right, and you
was
lived
born
in
there.
England,
You have
then
my
like
ear?
yeah, like the Navy's the bomb, metaphorically speaking.
Sure.
But like no one has ever been like held it. Like since Pearl Harbor, no one's cared what's going on in the ocean.
What?
What do you mean? What?
I don't think
very
that's.
interesting perspective. On,
It is a very
on-
interesting perspective.
I welcome counterpoints. Like I
just-
understand your shock at this statement.
No, I'm
But you're
shocked.
not actually providing a counterexample.
I think the Coast Guard gave a crap about what's happening.
Coast
in the
Guard.
ocean.
They're like getting drug dealers. That's fine. I think that the Navy would disown the Coast Guard, and that's
Wait.
fine.
What
The
if
Coast Guard is demoted Navy
Right.
crew.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
But
That's
if
what
the
I'm
saying.
Coast
That's where
Guard
they
is
go.
using their helicopters, are they pretending to be the Air Force?
Actually,
By your logic, they
That would take-
Whoa,
that
whoa,
would-
whoa,
that
whoa,
would
but wait,
technically-
wait,
that would
but wait,
technically
the
be
Army
Army.
has its own fixed wing aircraft, right? If you go aviation in the Army, you
All right,
fly
so-
helicopters.
Like
so
my
Army,
dad.
if an Army person got in a helicopter tried to do a water rescue, they'd be trying to be the Navy or the
when
Coast
does that
Guard?
happen?
was saying they
It
have the
never-
same
I'm just-
helicopters. They can
more
do
than
water
0
rescue.
times.
More than 0 times, but less
wait,
than
wait, wait,
every
wait.
time
Wait,
the
wait,
army
wait.
has won a war.
Wait. If a person in the army gets in a helicopter, aren't they trying to pretend to be a person from the Air Force?
Yes.
Like
No, Air Force-
This is
You
your
kind of already
these are your
established
rules.
this
You're
much.
establishing.
No,
This is a
no,
universe
hey,
in which
I guess
Hold on.
what I'm saying is we are humans and we live on the ground.
That is
and so congratulations, you won the water.
That is a
but no one cares.
That is stupid. This is the dumbest you've ever been. And you know me. I'm usually the one who's like, all right, calm down. Chris has a point.
I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, like, all things being equal, I would rather have a strong army, i.e., people who can win a land battle, than people who can like win in the middle of the ocean.
Oh, it means
England and Spain
means
scoff at
70%
you,
of the
sir.
entire Earth. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Congratulations, Aquaman. No one cares. like,
Leave Justice League out of this.
None of this.
We
means
said no
anything.
Justice League.
No, this
Right.
is we're getting
I'm
to the,
not saying
we're
Justice
getting to the bottom of this. This
Right,
is where
right,
it came
right.
from. He saw
I'm just
Justice
saying-
League, got mad, and now
No,
he's angry at the Navy.
I, in fairness,
That makes sense.
to the
And
Justice.
also-
I hate the Justice League, but I've hated the Navy far longer than I've hated Justice League.
and also, the Air Force doesn't deal in helicopters.
They don't. That is
so
totally.
if a Navy person
Apaches
is flying a
and-
helicopter, they are trying to be the Army. Because the
when
Army
has
has
a
helicopters.
Navy person tried to fly a helicopter?
They have the
On like every aircraft
Yeah,
carrier,
they have-
destroyer,
they have-
No,
cruiser.
they Harrier.
They have
do
the
a whole thing.
Osprey.
They have shitloads of
And they
helicopters.
have-
That's Marines.
The Seahawk.
And again, that's Marines,
Marines
trying to be the Army.
be the Navy.
No one cares about the ocean. Is the big deal.
The
Man.
Marines do
I mean, what are our budgets for all these things?
a lot.
Well, I know a lot, but yeah, but like,
Right. Too much.
More than zero.
who gets more money?
Which branch of the,
The Navy
military?
actually
The Navy gets more money,
has-
so what-
is developing a railgun?
Okay,
And
The Navy. That's right. They have a lot of fucking money.
they have
That's
more money.
So-
right?
Yeah.
what they
No.
have.
Now it's Travis's time to speak.
Whoa.
okay.
I'm finished. No.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Can I finish? Anyway, I have to go to the bathroom.
And I'm
finished.
done.
No, like so somewhere in some budgetary committee believes that the Navy. So I mean, can we actually look at money and budget for these things as some kind of factor for something of importance, or is it just because their tools and their toys are more expensive, they get more money? Like I just want to.
Ding, ding, ding.
Is that the thing? Because
Yep.
they're more
Yeah.
inventive with what they're trying to do.
They
'Cause
get
I don't want to go
all-
down a
If you
rabbit
put a
hole.
railgun on a battleship,
Go on.
like, who cares? Right.
I do.
The only
Well, how far does the railgun go?
Fucking far.
Exactly.
If it goes really
the
far,
only reason a
about 100
railgun
miles,
matters
yeah.
is the
100
ability
miles.
for Tom Hanks and everybody else to go on land.
No, the only people who care are people who live within 100 miles,
right.
who would want to do something to us.
Are
100 miles
trying,
is
are
pretty
trying
far.
to take the land.
Actually, what's funny
Yeah.
about
Like,
that,
if you could own 100% of the land versus 100% of the water, what would you rather do?
I would like to play Age of Empires with you.
I accept your challenge.
I would love to play like Civilization or something.
Yeah.
One of these
I'm
people
just
like,
saying,
oh
like-
yeah, no, just stay out. No, stay out of the ocean.
What I'm
stay
saying
completely
is-
out of the ocean. Let's see what happens, buddy. How are you gonna get all those people over
The
there?
ocean only supports the land, not vice versa.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's not how land works.
like 90%,
That is-
90% of the entire
Remember
population
the
of the world
British
lives
Navy,
within 10 miles
and what
of
does that
water.
get them?
Yeah.
What did that get them? Now we own everything. You're welcome, UK. Enjoy your queen.
well, I mean, it still sounds like the Air Force.
Man.
I honestly, I believe that the Air Force is probably the strongest contingent of the hand of the god that is the military complex, specifically because
You can't win a war with air power alone.
You can.
You cannot.
You can.
Exactly.
You
Not
fucking
possible.
can if you don't have regulations saying you can't kill everybody.
You
That's
can't.
true.
The Navy can nuke any country. Like we can get rid of any person of interest anywhere we want if we were ready to get rid of another 100 million people.
It's
you
not.
know?
It's not an effectiveness problem. It's a
but-
logistics problem.
Right.
What's the
And you
logistics?
can't.
logistics, you have to
if you
gas
own a
those
lot of
planes.
land that's Chernobyl, who cares?
Well, I mean, we're not going to talk about the family who owns Chernobyl.
Well, I'm just
the-
saying.
the
yeah,
Chernobyls.
you can in fact launch a nuke from a submarine. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yes.
Yeah.
And win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, but who cares? It's not about killing
Oh, it's not
everybody.
matter-
it's about like
No,
owning
we're
land.
talking about-
No, we're
That's
talking
not a
about
matter of
effectiveness.
technically.
Yeah.
That's a matter of it's so dangerous and so guaranteed to win. We don't do it.
Yeah.
No. But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to own the land. You don't want to just, in fact, kill everybody on the land.
Well, I mean, how do you get the land otherwise?
Oh, so
You
oh,
kill
I get
them,
it.
but keep the
Oh,
land.
I get it. You send
You send a bunch of underpaid children
you-
to
oh,
shoot
no.
all of
Look,
them.
Hold on.
You guys are making an argument
Hold on.
against the industrial military complex.
I have-
not,
I have
in
Chris's
fact,
answer.
a pro Navy argument.
I have the answer, Chris. You send the army to the port to shut down access to all the food and water. Then you can move inward.
Then you move inward.
You're talking
But how
about
do
the
you-
Navy pretending to be the Army again.
no.
But the Army can't get to a port, though. That's my point.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
If they want to be an international Uber, that's fine. But you don't get to claim like thank you for your service if all you are is an international
Wait.
Uber.
Does Uber have embargo services? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know
it's
that.
complicated. You got to swipe all the way to the right. It's
Super like.
yeah.
Their app
super
is,
hate, really. Yeah.
Their app
did.
is different.
It's
very, very
complicated, but
different.
there's negotiations, it's congressional committees and stuff.
You have some very interesting opinions on the.
You guys haven't done anything to dissuade me of them, and here's my point.
Well, no.
Actually, I think you haven't done anything to dissuade yourself, given all of our accurate and perfect evidence. So. But it's fine. You have stuff in your ears. So.
Oh,
All the
wow,
again.
wow.
All,
you
here's
all
my
the-
point.
You two have. You have
all the
earbuds.
Navy guys that I know are like Nelius level, crazy ingenuitive. They're the nerds. They get the cool toys. They get them first. They test them first, and it either becomes a thing that the Army gets later. Look. Don't imagine.
I didn't say anything.
Any
For
differently.
those of you at home, my facial expression has not changed.
That's true. It's,
Right.
It's just as beautiful as it always is. But the Army is like the redheaded stepchild of the military. Like, they don't get fucking shit first, ever. They never did, and they never will.
And
they
yet
do
we
all the
still
work.
win all the wars
yes,
for you. You're
you do.
welcome.
I'm not saying that you don't. I'm just saying.
I just have a problem with the logistics of that statement exactly, but we can go. We can do that next week. We can
Fine. Yes. We'll unpack the rest of that later.
Right.
That's the Navy has their place, and it's fine to make fun of them for their stupid outfits and their.
Their outfits are terrible. Again,
that part.
like literally, when's the last time like naval power determined a winner of a war?
In the past
World War
20
II.
years, like all of them. So,
None of them.
in the past 20 years. You should.
Like if you went back to World War II and talked about kamikaze and stuff like that, I would have to be like, well, maybe you make a point. But in the past 20 years,
No,
nothing. Nothing.
I think World War II was the last the Navy made a big fucking deal
How did we get the people there?
of things on boats.
That's a different
on
argument.
boats.
And
Well, so
No,
first off, I went to Iraq in a commercial airline, like literally.
Yeah, of course,
like-
of course, yeah.
Right.
No,
so
now, okay, no.
In your uniform.
No. Now we're talking about World War
Right.
II, and you said the ocean. No one cares about the ocean. That is an actual area in which we can ship people to go fight battles. It doesn't-
Right.
It doesn't mean. I'm not now. This is a different. My different argument now is not that it's not one on land, but the ocean's fucking important. You know.
well, basically,
Because there's
all the food you had in Iraq was shipped by the Navy.
Incorrect. Again, I got there.
They actually
I
cook
got there
food
through
there.
airline. And if their argument is,
Do you McDonald's or something? I mean, like,
If-
I know
if
they
the-
have a wonderful McDonald's.
if your argument is
they
the
did.
Navy is important because they deliver food to the Army, I'll accept that. But I don't think it's as compelling as you think it is.
The snark is so strong. The point really is that the ocean is important, and you can't do it alone.
You can't do
The
it.
Army cannot do it by itself.
That I will agree to.
Deterrence with at least one person fucking 100 miles away with a button on a railgun can stop people from doing some
And
things.
Let's
Some things.
face it, the Army will literally take anyone.
I mean, I'm not.
Because we've got a
anyone.
hard job to do.
I'm not.
We're not.
Yeah, I'm
we're
not
the
disparaging.
sexy.
I'm not trying to disparage the Army in that way for
I'll
sure.
do it, guys. I'm
Yeah.
an Army.
No.
Like, fuck them.
Right. No. We've got work to do, so we can't.
Yes,
we're not all
yeah.
glamour.
Yeah, the
like
Navy's-
the weathermen at the Air Force.
The Navy.
But
Right. That's the target I'm used to
Right.
to talking shit about is the fucking Air Force.
yeah, my dad.
Your dad.
Yeah,
With his
who literally went to
fucking
Germany and saw the Beatles because he was a ham radio operator. I'm like, thanks for the service, you know.
Yeah, that's one thing I think we all can agree on. The Air Force has the best golf courses.
Yeah, and
and
like
the
they
lax-
don't go anywhere until there's like showers installed. Like they literally don't
Yeah.
deploy
Yeah.
until there's like showers.
Doesn't that
inside.
sound
because they have to do
awesome.
their physical test, which is just like a stationary bike,
yeah.
and then you sweat on that for a little bit, and then you take a shower.
I
Nice
think
hot shower.
I think their boot camp is just learning how to play volleyball. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish you could have seen that at home.
Time for a break. We'll come back and do some shots.
It's got
We're
heated.
back. Bye.
The dust off the canvas and wait till we burst.
In your defense, I will also say it was recently announced that they have scrapped the railgun project.
It's like, damn, what a vibe. Woo. I got my old soul shoes tripping on the deep groove.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Hey!
Segment 4. It's a final 4. It's the toe segment. We're still hanging out, chilling out, maxing all cooling up.
I've eaten most of the chicken.
Yes, you have.
Outside of the school.
Proud of you for that. Yoink.
Brought by Torchies. We hooked us up with some
Sponsored by.
chicken strips today. So
Partially sponsored by the Torchies Company.
Torchies Tacos.
There's make your stomach smile. Anything we missed this week we want to cover? We have 12 minutes.
Justice League. Yeah.
Don't watch it.
Everyone's been raped, and everyone's
Whoa.
a rapist.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
That's not this week.
No,
That's every week.
It's just also this week.
Yeah. Also, cops sometimes kill people, and also
They totally do.
and they get acquitted for it.
and then, so that sometimes happens. Yeah.
That happens.
What else?
The Navy's the worst.
I think we covered that.
We all agree on that, of course.
Yeah.
We just fought about that.
Nailed.
What the fuck else? Like what?
I'm pretty sure we have Russia ties at this point. Yeah.
I know I do.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm saying.
Well, I just signed up for Loot Crate, so maybe I'll get some Russian ties.
Get some
But
Russian intel in your next loot crate. Yeah.
Here are
That
your
could happen.
Microfiche in my dungarees.
Here are your jeans.
Your dungarees, huh?
Bubblegum and blue jeans. You know,
You're gonna get a package with a message like, "Here is your new shirt, and also the data about your president."
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Free shipping.
But we took care of shipping for you, so
That's
yay!
kind of where we're at.
It's a fucking great deal. It's $25 for Intel.
If it sounds like you're saying it is, I love it. Donald Jr.
Data from the DNC once a month for $20.
We are hacking it.
All right.
So you don't have to.
We are hacking it,
Yeah.
so you don't have to.
Hack to door delivery. It's really good.
Hacked door.
And use the code DrunkcastLive to get $30 off your first Intel.
HackDNC.com/drunkcast.
Yeah.
10% off your first month of hacked intel.
Use the code Clinton did it.
Benghazi Gate.
right.
I'm not gonna lie, I would sign up. Like I know we're kidding, but
That's all it takes?
I mean,
Okay.
whatever.
It
Yeah.
would be far too interesting to not.
I would read it.
Yeah.
You would too.
What's
You
this?
know it.
I know I would.
Yeah, you would be like, hey, Chris.
Well,
forward
what's
me
this
that.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's.
I mean,
let's-
you already signed up.
Let's do a deep dive.
Why don't you give me your Netflix password and forward me the email?
Why don't you buy your own Netflix?
Yeah. I get it. I get it. I really do.
Libertarianism is all about individualism.
How dare you?
Do it your damn self.
Yeah. Actually, Chris, I do have some pamphlets about libertarianism if you want to.
Oh, yeah, I do.
It's it costs 2 Bitcoin.
2 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's like $30,000 now.
$30,000.
Yeah. I'm
But
sorry.
it will change your life.
I'm sorry you guys sold your Bitcoin, but
I am too.
Didn't.
don't take it out on me.
You,
I'm so
you're not-
excited about
you're not,
Bitcoin.
Adam, you're not sorry, or you didn't sell your Bitcoin.
I didn't sell it.
Well, you sold some.
I have sold some, and I have purchased things directly with it.
How much
over
Bitcoin do
time.
you still have?
I only have about 1 point something.
Okay.
Feel. Yeah.
But
I think the viewers at home should know that, like, when the
I hope
show
it-
is over, like segment 5, if you will. So, thank you.
told you.
Like, me and Adam have gone for like an hour about Bitcoin afterwards. Like, it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Sign up for Patreon. You can hear it.
QuakeCon Christmas just happened. Gifts were exchanged.
It was
my,
intense.
My boy, it was intense. Intensity in 10 cities. And my boy Cuffs.
Oh, wait, the
got a
Airbnb was in a bunch
particular-
of tents, like teepees, or like is it multi-family tents?
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that.
I mean, you said multi-million dollars, so I assume in Austin it's probably a bunch of like
They're very fancy tents.
very
Sorry, we're
fancy tents.
condos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're glamping.
We're glamping.
I really don't know what's going on.
He got this. A dude on Something Awful wrote a book about blockchains, Bitcoin, and like the whole cryptocurrency thing.
Sure.
And like the short version is printed right at the beginning, and it's like, oh, should I buy Bitcoin? Only answer, no. Just don't.
Should I mine it? Fuck no.
No, you're
Yeah.
retarded.
Right.
Don't do that.
Right. Are you
Just-
Amazon?
Yeah. And that's kind of how I feel. Just
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Like,
Just-
it's
just don't.
exploding right now. I can't wait till it falls to the fucking floor again, and everybody for the 140th time in a row calls it dead. And then I can buy a whole bunch more, and it will do exactly what it's always been doing, and it will rise from the dead.
That's my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing ever changes.
Altered Beast style. Rise from your grave.
It's not
Rise
going anywhere.
from your chain.
It's not going
It
anywhere.
is not.
Clink.
I'm digging it because I bought a bunch of Litecoin for super cheap, and I'm hoping my Ripple will also increase for it.
Ripple.
Yeah.
Ripple's kind of a
Ripple coin.
weird. Ripple's kind of a weird bird. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't like hedge too much
It's
on
not even a
what Ripple
cryptocurrency,
does.
I wouldn't
Oh, it's
say.
like but it's like 20. It was 25 cents. I
It's
own-
like a corporate settlement concept.
Sure.
That's what Ripple's baseline is.
Right.
Just like how Dash always wants to be worth exactly $1 no matter what happens.
yeah.
Like it's just fucking weird.
Would it just keep
Like,
splitting? Is that
why?
is that how they do that?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So if you buy,
That's why there's literally thousands of alternate
I like that idea a lot
cryptos.
better. Really, like I mean, if you can do that mathematically, it's pretty fascinating. If you buy 15 Dash coins and each one's worth $1, and then they're like, oh, well, Dash coin's worth 2. Now you have 30. Like it's the same price, and it's also easy currency exchange. Like,
But you're devaluing your thing. Like,
Right.
well, yeah, of course.
Every
But
Like,
single time
like no
you're-
one
it's
needs
worth
a
less.
thing that's
Right.
equal to U.S.
no,
dollars.
I'm
If
saying
you want to
no,
use
right.
dollars,
no, I
you
know,
just
I know,
use
right,
dollars.
I know.
The-
It's more fascinating that way, in
Right.
my opinion. You know, like
it is fascinating, but the reason I disagree with it is
directly proportional
it
to
goes against
that idea.
It goes against the concept of the cryptocurrency concept as a whole.
Right, in making a currency
It
and
doesn't-
not, and
it
not,
doesn't-
not a
it
commodity.
doesn't-
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, tying it to the value of the U.S. dollar is not the point. It's never been the point.
Right.
And it's its own thing. It
Yeah.
wants to be its own thing.
It wants to be a digital currency you can use online anonymously, just like cash.
Yes.
Yes.
And you can transfer to anyone at any point in time as long as you have the address.
And they're awake.
And it's instant. There's no middleman.
And
There's
it's not
no
October.
bank. There's no anything involved.
Except now the IRS wants to know if you have it.
And now the IRS wants to know if you have it. And they're also like,
Well,
the NASDAQ's going to trade Bitcoin futures. And it's just like, oh, wow.
there's already like a what do they call it a series, like not a hedge fund or whatever.
Of
but-
futures.
Well, the futures
The
for Bitcoin, I've seen that.
Winklevoss is-
But I've also
Winklevoss,
seen
aye.
Winklevossi.
Yes.
Those-
correct.
Those fucking chemical kids growing in vats.
The bad guys in the social network.
Yeah.
It's right.
No, that guy who got hit like a watermelon in RoboCop. It looks like both of them. Yeah. He looks like them. Very important point.
I am too drunk for this conversation.
I'd buy that
Yes.
for a dollar.
That's I'll buy that for a Bitcoin. All right, I got some shots in front of us. What are we shooting for tonight?
Oh my God.
To the Navy.
To the Navy.
To the Navy and Bitcoin.
Maybe
Yeah.
they choke.
Clink.
Oh my God! Very fun time yelling at all of you. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us, Chris Lloyd. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
I would never thank you for having me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You would never thank me for having you.
That was actually
I literally just did that.
Never thank you for not having it. Name your sex
Yes.
tape. Got it.
The double negative, we're in agreement.
Yeah, we are not in agreement.
Yes.
It's not Bill and Ted math. Not,
I mean,
not
it feels
in agreement.
like it.
It's a
Dude.
bit Bill and Ted.
Come back anytime. Adam McWaters, thanks for coming and hanging out with the
Thank
show.
you for having me. It's always awesome.
Always a pleasure, and please enjoy the chicken. And Dylan, thank you for helping me run the show.
We are dust in the wind.
We are
Dude.
yeah, like Sans the
Like
Hourglass.
five-
Strange things
five
are
or
afoot at the
six, my
Circle
dude.
K.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks Sophocles or not Sophocles.
Socrates.
So
Socrates.
So great.
And underrated.
It reminds me, you can sign up
feel
for
like this-
Socrates right now with the.
That's a fun discussion for next week. What a franchise is the sequel better than the original?
Not Bill and Ted's.
No.
Oh, I
Station.
disagree.
Yeah.
No,
what
I
the
think-
fuck are you telling me? You think Bogus Journey is better than Excellent Adventure?
I do.
You are so
You need to
wrong.
take a class in anything. Anything.
I think you guys are picking on me now at this point, but I don't.
No, I yell because I care. Sir.
I wasn't picking on you at all.
I
Yeah,
What
he
the
was just
fuck? You
calling-
literally said I would pick.
He was just calling you wrong. He wasn't picking on you. He was calling you wrong.
Right.
yeah. I mean,
I do think you're wrong.
fair
I
enough.
just
I just feel like
I didn't want to
been-
belabor the point.
We
I've
all
been
grieve
like the
differently.
straight man this whole episode.
The answer
and
is
that's
wrath to
fine.
come,
That's
by the way.
fine.
Straight man, you fucking snob.
Everyone's like, "Oh, I love the Navy. I love the first Bill and Ted." Like, I
Who?
think-
There's no one. No, you're the
Man.
only person in the world who's like, oh man, Bogus Journey. I had a real
I don't
story
think I'm
to
the
tell.
only person who
Yeah,
thinks
you're the
that.
only person.
That had real heart.
I just talked to everybody.
Oh, well, in that case, I take it back.
Drunkcast has tens of followers.
Right.
And they all said, no,
They
fuck that
all
movie.
responded to the Twitter
Yeah,
poll.
like you can see right here. Look at that.
Touche.
Yeah.
You got him.
Got him. Yeah.
And the answer to the question is Wrath of Khan. Done.
It's better than the original?
Yes, Wrath of Khan is better than Star Trek 1.
Terminator 2 was better than
That is-
Terminator
That
1.
is both of these are
also
correct.
correct.
Those
Yeah.
are
both
those
of
are
these
both true statements.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. This is why we need a second round.
But here's the problem with that. It's always been the problem. I'm remembering this now. The main reason that's a problem is that it can't be trilogies or movies that have more than 2 movies.
Okay. If you want
That's-
to go that way, that's
I know, but that's why it makes it difficult. When we say Terminator 2 was excellent, and then Terminator 3
Was
the rest of
not.
it was
Terrible.
awful. Yeah. So
So Cannonball
There's-
Run 2.
there's no benefit to Cannonball Run 2. Yes.
No, actually, no. 'Cause
We all
there-
agree.
There actually were 2 unofficial director-of-video sequels to that as well. Okay.
Yeah.
The
Now-
Snyder unedited.
Now
cut.
there's homework to do.
Now it's actual homework. Now it's a challenge. What's your favorite second movie? Well, mine's Die Hard 2 because I didn't see the first one.
Which is wrong because Die Hard 1 is the best Die Hard movie.
It is the best
Period.
Christmas song.
And it's the best holiday movie ever made.
Well, Holiday, actually, I think Home for the Holidays is a much better holiday movie.
Jingle All the Way. Yeah.
Jingle All the Way is an excellent Easter movie.
Look, you have Die Hard and you have Gremlins. Those are the best
Those
holiday
are Christmas
movies in
movies.
consecutive
Christmas
order.
movies. Those are great Christmas movies, but Home for the Holidays is the best holiday movie. I think it trumps those. If you're willing to laugh with your heart.
I'm not.
Oh, okay. Well, fine. Okay. You hate snow, so
Is that a Tyler Perry movie?
no. That's Hork for the Holidays,
Oh, my lord.
which is the sequel to Pork for the Holidays.
Perk for the holidays.
Yeah, there
Pork.
it is. Pork for the Hollandaise. That's
Brunch.
me.
It's a brunch
It's
movie.
a brunch movie. Yeah.
A movie about brunch.
Which is a Martin Luther King movie, really. Let's take a break. Take a break.
What?
I don't know.
Let's get the fuck out.
I'm very
get the fuck
upset
out.
with
This is
everything
done.
that's happening right now.
If you like the
But-
show, you want to know more about the show, you can go to drunkcastlive.com. That's drunkcastlive.com for your updates and ringtones, Pokemon codes, and a newsletter, an excellent newsletter. Our own Chris Lloyd curates some of the coolest things that have happened in the episode and things that didn't happen in the episode because they're far cooler
It is
than what we actually
excellent,
talk about.
by the way.
Adjacent things and et cetera, et cetera. It's fun. It's excellent. It's educational. It's funjutainment. Please go check it out. You can go to facebook.com/drunkcastlive or drunkcastlive at drunkcastlive on Twitter. We're Drunkcast Live Pics on Instagram, and we are in all of the podcast stores. If you have a place where you can get podcasts, just look up Drunkcast, and then live will probably show up. Drunkcast (live) or Drunkcast Live. If you have an Echo, you can just ask it to play Drunkcast Live for you, which is a really fucking weird feature that we didn't set up, and it's awesome and it has it. You go to Stitcher Store, tuners to tune in. You can Google Play, iTunes, any of those places, especially iTunes. Go to iTunes and do a rating for us. Helps us out.
At
If you're a
Drunkcast
person
Live
who's
online.
still listening to the show, please know that we would really like to hear more from you by any means possible. So why don't you just ask a friend or maybe a person on the bus or a congressman, like in their net neutrality arguments or whatever. Just put in the reason why we need net neutrality is because Drunkcast Live will lose its followers.
Drop
Alt-
your undies and bring it.
And yeah, that's where the wild goose goes.
You just want to tell Chris how much he's wrong.
Yeah, if that's a thing. And if you want to comment on anything we talked about in the show, you can text or call 802-359-7468 or 802-359-SHOT. It's our shot line. And that's an excellent place for you to tell us your grievance and let us know your grievance or maybe the thing you enjoyed or whatever. You can leave a voicemail and we can listen to it. We can listen to it on the show live and react
laugh at you.
and laugh at you or with you or around you, depending on how fat the house is or whatever. It's questions at drunkcastlive.com if you really just want to send an email for some reason. And that's it. I'm Travis. We love you so much. We'll see you next week. Bye.
To let you know what the deal is.
Content pending.